I'm sorry, I'm so done with Stephanie White. Like, I know I'm late to this video, and I know people might have covered it. I had this bookmark last night at 4:50 in the morning, and I completely forgot. I had other videos I was doing. I completely forgot to talk about this. But at the end of the day, like, this is something that we've got to talk about. This is something we genuinely have to talk about. And like, Stephanie White, like, even in her interviews, I'm like, it's getting ridiculous now. It is getting absolutely ridiculous. Like, it is just the same excuse over and over again. Like, I wish somebody would actually ask Stephanie White why she insists on this egalitarian offense when they don't have the personnel for it. If you look at the Indiana Fever's roster, it's incredibly flawed. Also, why are you running an 8-man rotation against the best team in the second best team in the WNBA in July in a game you're probably going to lose? Why are you running an 8-man rotation? What's the point? But if you look at the Indiana Fever, you have 1.5 playmakers in Aaliyah Boss and Ari McDonald. Dandis was terrible, but I think she's been good this year. Sid Colson should not be playing 13 minutes a game. She shouldn't. And you might be saying, oh, but like there's no Caitlin Clark. Figure something out. Run Aaliyah, run some size. Run a Lexi Hull, go Dantas, go Aaliyah, go Lexi. Screw it, go Natasha Howard and play, get Lexi or Sophie to dribble the ball up the floor. And if they get pressed full court, tell Aaliyah to dribble the ball up the floor. Jonquel Jones isn't pressuring Aaliyah full court, is she? Aaliyah, you go play the one. You go play the one. You initiate the offense. It is what it is. Just try something new. Try something new if you don't want to run certain lineups. Like, why is it, again, that Ari McDonald a lot of the time just forgets that she has teammates? And she's tunnel visioned. Like, when she makes a decision, in fairness, she can make good passes, but when she makes that decision, she can't see what's going on around her. She's making a tunnel vision pass. And this is what Stephanie White said after the game.
This team was pegged as a contender, coming into the season with the talent, the depth on this roster, and obviously you
What depth?
guys have dealt with injury and roster changes, but what do you think is missing right now from really allowing that to click, that competition with the upper echelon to click on a consistent basis?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's for everybody else to discuss whether we were really ready to be a contender or not.
Now, remember that now you know. Remember that every game is a home game. Remember that victory lap? It's up for other people to discuss whether we're really a contender or not. First of all, it seems like she's just being like, we're not a contender. Like, the correct response, I mean this, the correct response to that question is, we haven't been healthy all year, and when we're healthy, I was like, we've proven we can beat some of the top teams in the WNBA with a full team or even without Caitlin Clark. And I'm confident when we make it into the playoffs that we can beat any team. That's it. That's it. That is how you answer that question. Not this crap.
Certainly there's no substitute for experience. And Tosh and Sid are the ones on our team that have championship caliber experience.
Like, you're literally like, there's not, the rest of our players aren't experienced, but Natasha Howard and Sid Colson are. Man, Howard was non-existent yesterday on offense. In fairness, she did a good job on Stewie. And Sid Colson was minus 19. I don't care if you've got championship experience. She's got Darko championship experience. I'm sorry. She rode the bench one of those years, and she rode the bench the other year until game 4 of the finals, where New York Liberty absolutely threw it away. She did a really good job, and people, like, she has scored, 3 points? I think she scored, 3 points, and people were so happy because she didn't basically lose them the game. She pretty much didn't lose them the game. People were so happy about that in Game 4 of the 2023 finals, which realistically, the New York Liberty just absolutely threw it away. They just threw it out away. Like, what is she talking about? Like, oh, we need players that have championship experience. I'm sorry. You don't need players who have won championships in the past to win a championship. Like, the New York Liberty last year, in the finals, they had 2 players that had won championships in the past. Courtney Vandersloot barely got off the bench. Stewie stunk it up by her standards in the finals. No championships for Leo Phoebish. Killed it in the finals. No championship for Jonquel Jones. Killed it in the finals. Sabrina, as bad as she was in Game 5, she won them Game 3. She had great games in the finals. But their two best players in the finals were Leo Phoebish and Jonquel Jones. No championship experience whatsoever. What is Stephanie White talking about?
And so you got to go through it. I do think, disruption in rotation, playing players in different positions because of that disruption.
Who's playing out of position? I mean this. Who is playing out of position? Who? Ari McDonald's a point guard. She plays point guard. Kelsey Mitchell's a 2. She plays the 2. Lexi Hull's a 3. Plays exclusively at the 3. Damiris Dantas, you guys claim she's a power forward. She plays a bit at the 4. Michaela Timpson, who's really a center, plays the 4. The only reason you're playing players out of position is half your healthy roster are centers. You have 11 players. 1 of them's injured, and 5 of them are centers. Bree Turner, center. Michaela Timpson, center. Dantas, center. Aaliyah Boston, center. 1, 2, 3, 4. Natasha Howard, pretty much a center. I don't care. I do not consider a non-shooting power forward to be a power forward. I don't care. We are in the year of 2025. A non-shooting power forward is not a power forward. Half the team are best at center. You've got small ball center, center, stretch center. You've got no size. Who's playing out of position? I mean, who is playing out of position? Sophie Cunningham playing power forward. That's what she does. She's a Swiss Army knife. She fills in everywhere. She can play small ball 4. Is playing Sophie Cunningham sometimes a small ball 4 playing her out of position? Yeah, okay. But you've got half of your team are 4-5s. If you want to call 4-5 the same position. Half of your team are post players. It's not her fault that she's the only stretch 5. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it that the players are playing out of position? And by the way, nobody's playing out of position. What's she talking about?
Caliber experience. And so you got to go through it. I do think, disruption in rotation, playing players in different positions because of that disruption hasn't allowed the continuity probably as much as we'd like. But you can see it in spurts, right? You can see it in certain spurts where we have that. And so being able to...
I'm sorry, continuity is not why this team is not winning. Unpopular opinion, this team's not very good. They're not winning because they're not very good. Their offense is incredibly reliant on one player, and when that one player has been injured all year, the team barely functions.
The difference in championship caliber teams are those 2 or 3 minutes in a ball game. Where you can't have the miscommunications, you can't have the breakdowns, you can't have the poor shot selection, playing outside yourself, whatever it may be. Games and series are won and lost in those small margins. And right now, we might have moments, and it might be 30 minutes a game, it might be 38 minutes a game, but those 2 minutes matter. And we've got to get to the point where we're not having those moments and those lulls.
What's she talking about? What's she actually talking about? They were in control. The Liberty were struggling. You were absolutely in control. And you went out with a lineup of Dantas and Sophie Cunningham at the 4-5, Kelsey in there, guarding Leo Phoebish, and Stewie being guarded by fucking Lexi Hull. Sid Colson at the 1. You've got one player that can score the ball. Why is this lineup in the game? And the problem is there's no lineup that can really go much better when you've got Aaliyah off the floor. Because you're not playing Bree Turner. You've got Aaliyah and Howard off the floor. This is where you play Natasha Howard. You let Natasha Howard do her thing in this lineup. You don't take both of them off. But at the end of the day, it's not the team's fault. Oh, there's a lull. Look at this fucking lineup. You're up 5 with a minute to go in the third. By the way, New York end the third on a 7-0 run. New York end the third and a 7-0 run. What is she talking about? She is literally not having Caitlin Clark's when you didn't have Pat Mahomes, Steph Curry, Messi, entire dynamic. One player makes everyone better. She restates the same coach to be augmented by home every third word. Fans want Kelsey Mitchell and want the Kelsey Mitchell-led team to be the reigning champions without their facilitator. The problem is that she blames it on a lack of championship experience. That is not the problem. The problem is you don't have Caitlin Clark. You don't have to say that. You don't have to say that. You can literally say, look, they're talking, because she was asked about being contenders. The reason you're contenders is not because of Sydney fucking Colson or Natasha Black Hole Howard. Like, they call her the Flash, but unfortunately, the black hole has completely consumed that Flash. Like, there's no light in that black hole right now. They're contenders because they have Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, and they have an elite play finisher in Kelsey Mitchell. The problem is you're initiating an offense through Kelsey Mitchell, which a lot of the time, which again, leads to we're putting up a lot of empty calorie stats. But at the end of the day, you could have answered that questions in 100 different ways. And you answered them, maybe 95 of them would be better than what you answered. The only worst answer could have literally have been said, being like, you know what, we almost won that game without Caitlin, and I think we've got a chance of winning it. You could have literally just said, I still think we have a chance of winning a championship. We showed tonight through 3 quarters that we can compete with the best team in the WNBA without one of our key players. Once we can get everybody back healthy and we can hopefully once we get everyone back healthy for the playoffs, we feel like we can beat anybody full strength. Not essentially defeating and saying, I don't know why other people call us contenders. Like, the only players we have that have won the past are Natasha Howard and Sydney Colson. You're contenders because of the players you have on your team, not the players you brought in. You were contenders because of the players you brought in last year. Like, what is going on? What is she talking about? It's so annoying. And not only that, she is a shit coach for this team. I don't think she's a bad basketball coach. I think she's a terrible coach for this team, and I stand by that.